electric vehicles the savior of our environmental future? Well, after diving into the latest research, I discovered some shocking facts about EVs that made me completely rethink everything I thought I knew about green transportation. Hi, I am Jessica, and for videos and podcasts that will make you think, join our channel Let Us Lead. Today, to talk on this burning topic of EV, we have with us Charlie, who is always deeply vested with what's happening in automobile industry around the globe. Hi, Charlie. Welcome to our Let Us podcast show.
Hey, thanks, Jessica, for inviting me to your podcast. As you said, let us podcast.
Absolutely. So, Charlie, I just read about the hidden environmental costs of EV production. What specifically caught your attention?
Well, here's what really blew my mind. It takes driving an EV for nearly 50,000 miles before its total carbon footprint becomes lower than a gas vehicle. And that's assuming you're charging it with clean electricity, which most people aren't.
The energy source paradox is really eye-opening. In states heavily dependent on coal power, an EV can actually have a larger carbon footprint than a conventional car.
And get this, the mining required for just one EV battery displaces approximately 500,000 kilograms of earth. The environmental damage from lithium mining in places like Chile's Atacama Desert is devastating local ecosystems and depleting groundwater resources.
You know what's really concerning? The cobalt situation in the Congo, where about 70% of the world's supply comes from. The working conditions there are absolutely horrific.
Right? And here's another shocking statistic. The battery manufacturing process alone generates nearly 75% more carbon dioxide than producing an entire conventional vehicle. Plus, these batteries have a limited lifespan of 8 to 10 years, after which they become toxic waste.
Speaking of waste, what's your take on the recycling challenges? I mean, we're looking at millions of dead batteries in the coming decades.
Well, current recycling technology can only recover about 50% of the materials from EV batteries. The process is incredibly energy intensive and expensive. Toyota recently estimated that by 2030, we'll have over 8 million tons of EV batteries that need disposal.
That's exactly why we need to look at alternative solutions. Have you seen the latest developments in hydrogen fuel cell technology?
Oh yeah, and the numbers are impressive. Hydrogen vehicles can refuel in under 5 minutes and have a range of over 400 miles. Plus, Toyota's new hydrogen fuel cell system is 40% more efficient than their first generation.
The infrastructure costs are significant, though. Building a hydrogen fueling station costs about $2 million, compared to $50,000 for an EV charging station.
True, but here's something interesting. Synthetic fuels might be an even better solution. Porsche's investing heavily in carbon-neutral synthetic fuels that could reduce CO2 emissions by up to 85% in existing vehicles. It could solve the massive problem of what to do with the 1.4 billion existing vehicles on the road globally. And speaking of existing infrastructure, upgrading our power grid to handle even a 30% EV adoption rate would cost an estimated $125 billion in the US alone. That's not including the cost of building charging stations.
That's interesting. And the winter performance issues are pretty concerning too. I've heard some pretty dramatic numbers about range reduction in cold weather.
Yeah. Tests show that EV range can drop by up to 40% in cold weather. Add heating, and that number gets even worse. In Norway, some Tesla owners reported range reductions of up to 50% during winter months.
So what do you think is the actual future of transportation? It seems like we might need a more diverse approach.
Well, looking at the data, it seems clear we need a mix of solutions. EVs might make sense for urban areas, hydrogen for long-haul transport, and synthetic fuels for existing vehicles. Plus, we're seeing some promising developments in public transportation and urban planning.
That makes so much sense. Like a transportation ecosystem rather than a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. And here's my final thought, Jessica. Maybe the real solution isn't just about changing what powers our vehicles, but about fundamentally rethinking how we approach transportation altogether. We have to remember that if oil is limited resource, then lithium also is limited resource, so I don't see EV as the one and only solution for the future. The future belongs to hybrid and mix of solutions.
I have to say that I wholeheartedly support your opinion here, Charlie. We cannot do one more blunder with one more limited resource on Earth. Thank you so much, Charlie, once again for being my guest today. I request all listeners to post your views regarding EV. What do you think about the future of automobiles? Comment below. This is Jessica signing off, and until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep listening to Let Us Lead.